Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's really amazing to see people talk from Australia and New Zealand in the middle of the night there, and then some people from Europe in the afternoon here. You can see we are quite far up in the north, so it's like Alaska or something like that. So we have light until late in the evening here. And then also awesome to talk to the people from the United States. I was kind of considering to take an 8.5 minute break and say thank you, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about rebar instead. I'm going to keep this section short. It's a very labor intensive and very manual task today. Also, what is very interesting is in research, for example, in Zurich and the university, we have shown that with optimizing designs, we can save up to 70% of the material for certain structures. But we have a problem building this at scale at the moment. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening in the 3D printing scene, and we're kind of hoping to add the magic sauce here with the rebar in that concrete structures. Current standard today is very manual. So most often you see a lot of single bars delivered to the construction site and assembled manually on the critical path of the project. However, prefabrication is a known method. So we see in a few projects here a low degree of prefabrication, where you have cages that you lift on place in the critical path. And what we are developing here is a mobile factory that you can put up on your factory to assemble the cages with a robot. We're also seeing quite a lot of advancement on the software side. So, for example, with Revit and Dynamo, you can design really awesome rebar designs quite easily and automatically. And what you're seeing here is a beta version of our plugin for one of our customers. They have a precast plant. They're making landings for their stairs here. And what you see is that you can kind of like automatically design a rebar cage with our plugin. And then the next step is that you then directly can send the design cage to our robot that then prefabricates the cage for you. They're working on Tekla at the moment, so that's where we have the first plugin. We're also planning to do the same thing for Revit later. A good thing also is in this kind of workflow, you have all the other information, like for example, the journey guys that were before us now is like, where are you in your prefabrication and so on? We can make that available on our API, and you can connect that into your other software and BIM model. What you're seeing here is our productivity rate. It really depends on the size of the project and how many of the same cages you're making. So if you see, for example, for the small cages, the blue lines, the dotted line is the reference of our project, and we have almost double the productivity already for this small projects. And in the near future, we are also going to be a lot more productive for medium and large projects. What you're seeing here is a couple of pilots that we were running last year and the cages that we are making in these projects. And you can also see that or what you maybe cannot see in these videos, it's a mix. Like we don't have like a 100% robotic prefabrication today. It's a mix of human labor and robotic labor. Some of the pilots that we have been doing is for precast plants. It's one of our first customers and very close customer here. Then here you see the mix of the human production and the robotic production in a flow production. Tunnel elements is like a really good case. So we are in very good conversations with some customers there. Then locally here we have a hybrid project. Culverts is a great project for prefabrication. Bridges is something that we are have an ongoing pilot project. For example, here is an example for the edge beams that we're making bridges. You can either make like short cages and insert the longitudinal rebar afterwards, or you can make longer sections, 12-meter sections, and have the structural rebar also installed in the cage already. Yeah, this is like one of our big pilot projects that we have ongoing. It's like 100 million euros for 19 bridges. And in that project, there's 10,000 tons of rebar. And by prefabricating the cages, you can have 10 times less labor on the site. And we are at approximately 50% the normal production cost. And we also see that we have less waste and we can optimize the material use. And let me tell you, 20% material of 10,000 tons of rebar, it's quite significant. Yeah, then our long-term goal is to build this mobile factory. So right now we are running on standard industrial robots, and we have this project ongoing to make it mobile so that you can prefabricate the cages directly on the construction site. The scaling that we're going to do is, you see this awesome mission control room in the middle. That's going to be us. And then on the right side, you see the mobile factory is going to be set up on several locations, and we're going to program and run them remotely. And on the left side, you see our catalog, our library of different cage models that you have available in our plugin that you can easily adjust and configure to your projects. And this scales quite nicely. The more projects you do, the bigger our library will be, the more robots we will have in production, the more feedback we will get. And it's like this self-feeding loop that just gets better and better. Our business model is, at the moment, we are selling cages locally to our customers here, so to bridge projects and to precast plants. And we are also in talks with some housing projects. And this is kind of a known project where you sell at a unit price per ton of cage, but it doesn't scale very nicely, but it gives us a lot of feedback and experience in reference projects. Next thing is in Europe, we're going to rent out the prototype of our factory together with our operator. And it's also, as you see, it's not for scaling, it's for getting more pilot projects, more reference projects. And then in the end of 21, we think we will have our factory ready to start selling the factory and then start scaling. I rushed a little bit through it, so a few words. If this is something you think worth investing in, then we are doing a 3 million round at the moment, because tickets have been gotten a little smaller. A relatively small part of this is equity. So if you want to invest like a 200,000-300,000 euro ticket, then we should have a talk. And with that, I'm done.